but kind of switching it back over a little bit to Clemson, with them being 0-2 now in the conference, with them pretty much being out of the picture.
Yeah.
Going into the year, we're like, okay, this conference is going to come down to Miami and Clemson. Who do you think that second team is?
I think even regardless of what happens next week, it's got to be FSU. I mean, I want to see more of FSU, truthfully, and I'm not sure if UVA will prove that. UVA's offense has been really good, but I don't like Bama's a good team. Are they a perfect game? A perfect like not really, but they dominated them. I won't lie, they did dominate Bama. I'll give them that credit, but I can't. I don't know. I think FSU is a very good school, but we'll really see how good they are against Miami. But I do have them right now. I think it's them and it's Georgia Tech, and I think then it's everyone else. I'm very high on Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech scares the hell out of me, truthfully.
You'll never catch me not saying a bad thing about Georgia Tech. That's a scary team right there.
And also with FSU, every game against FSU is close. Every game against FSU is going to be a really good game. They're a rival for a reason. They're going to be very good, assuming Castellanos is healthy. But their run game, I think they broke their school record against Kent State. I know it's Kent State, but it's crazy to do that. They look like a night and day difference as a team, so you got to give them their respect. They look very solid. It's between right now for me FSU and Georgia Tech. I did think Cal for a little bit, and then they got bodied by San Diego State, which wasn't fun. Why? I don't know. I was very high on their freshman quarterback. I thought he was awesome, and then they really struggled against San Diego State. We can keep looking at the conference. A lot of them lost on Saturday. UNC lost to UCF.
Are we talking? Just don't even mention. Sorry, Bill.
SMU lost to TCU. SMU looks really bad, bad. I mean, Virginia.
The only undefeated teams in the conference right now are Louisville, Florida State, Miami, and Georgia Tech.
And we'll see Louisville in a couple weeks.
Louisville, maybe, but they haven't really played They haven't played a Power 4 team yet. So.
I think they're a good team, I guess. But Louisville, I think Louisville's like a team that's going to lose to, like, they almost lost to JMU. They played bad football against JMU for like 3 quarters, and now they have to go.
Louisville has to go and play Pitt this week, which could be
that could be a loss, and Pitt, and for Pitt as well. Pitt lost to West Virginia. Virginia Tech looks like a dumpster fire. Duke is really up and down with a loss to Tulane and a loss to Illinois, but then you beat NC State, and NC State was undefeated. NC State also look pretty bad anyway. And we do also play NC State later in this year. I don't really think Duke's that much of a contender. I thought they were, but I guess it helps for them that that their 2 losses are non-conference.
Yeah. So
Duke would be maybe my 4th, and then Louisville. No, I'll put Louisville. I'd probably say because Miami's the best. Then it's FSU and Georgia Tech are like 2A, 2B. Probably FSU at 2, Georgia Tech 3. I'd probably would put my 4, probably Louisville, and then 5 Duke, 6 SMU. SMU, I know their 2 losses are non-conference, but they don't look anything like the team last year. They look nothing like that team.
Yeah, they are a little. I mean, it's. I think they were like the 3rd team if we were looking at teams to point at, like, oh, this is going to be going to be a tough game for Miami, and they haven't really lived up to that hype, either. Coming off of what last year was a very good season for them, a very good welcome to the ACC for them, for SMU. So yeah, it is a little bit. I mean, I think there's 2 solidified teams after Miami in terms of you had to predict the conference. Yes. Rest of it, a little bit of I won't go to dumpster fire, but it's a little bit of a jumble, I would say.
Yeah, I would have put Syracuse in there, but they just lost Steve Angeli for the year. So that's not going to help them at all.
Yeah.
After the win against Clemson, when you lose Angeli like that, I think over the course of Miami's future schedule, right? I would say every team Miami has like the betting odds would probably give Miami about a 7-point spread at least on all these games, other than FSU, which is fine, whatever. I think all these games you can see a little trap game within a couple of them. Louisville for sure, at Syracuse for sure, Pitt obviously. And SMU is going to be like these are still good games that Miami will have to prove themselves with, but they've also played their toughest game against Notre Dame, and they'll play their next toughest game against FSU. And then after that, it's very, it gets easier after that, significantly easier.
Yeah. It gets You have the FSU game, and it is afterwards. It is straight. I mean, I don't. Yeah, there's not another out of conference game after that. It's just straight ACC football.
ACC.
And given how the conference looks right now, it's a very. If you beat FSU next week or 2 weeks from now, you are setting yourself up for a very possible route to 12-0.
Yeah, and that would put them at number 1 in the country.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, which that's the ultimate goal here.
Unbelievable that, I mean, again, we talked about this when we started the season, saying, would we rather split against UF and Notre Dame, and then a conference play, SMU and FSU are the two tough ones. And now we're looking at this now. You got a 1-3 UF team, a 1-2 Notre Dame team. FSU is undefeated in its top 10. It's just no one can predict this stuff. It's incredible of how it is, but it's a testament to really how fun how good this Miami team is, that everyone compared to what they thought they were. And, again, I think I mentioned every week, we really have to really enjoy what we're watching, because seeing a team being as good as this is very rare. This is like the culmination of Mario's kind of class. This is like the end of his first real class at Miami. So we're seeing it kind of in full effect and how awesome it is. Mm-hmm. We really have to kind of take it in and just be, the win against Notre Dame and the win against UF. You have that for time. We might play UF. We're scheduled to play Notre Dame next year, but there's no foreseeable future for UF. And when you win 9 of your last 11 games against UF, you have that. You have that over UF for time. You have that over them. If you beat FSU, you beat all 3 of your rivals, you win the state of Florida for a second year in a row. Do you know how sick that feels, regardless of how well you do in the playoffs or the rest of the year? Just winning those rivalry games, best feeling in the world. Because at the end of the day, that's what college football is about. You got to beat the teams you see every year, or that you want to beat every year, that you're kind of talking about all the time. And that's FSU, it's Notre Dame, and it's UF. And if you're 2-0 against them right now.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you're 2-0. You want to finish out 3-0. So hopefully in a couple weeks when Miami heads up to Tallahassee, they get that done. I think the journey so far has just been very incredible from this Miami team. And it's only so early in the season. Like there's still a bunch of games left to be played. Miami has a bunch of football left to play this season, but just seeing the turnaround on defense, I think, is the biggest surprise. But just seeing how more balanced of a team this is, just through this journey so far, has been very fun to see. Between all the freshmen kind of stepping up in a variety of ways, the run game being as cool as it is, like Carson Beck kind of shaping up back into form. It's just been a really fun ride. And like you said, you got to go 3-0 again. At this point, I wasn't a proponent of it. I was like, yeah, well, we can lose one of them as long as you win the conference. But at this point, I agree. Get it done. Get through all your rivalry games, and then look at that. If you have all those, then unless you completely fall on your face in the conference, you're gonna have a playoff berth in all likelihood.